last weekend, Andy, we had a busy weekend. We had Southend on Saturday and a couple of cup matches on the Sunday. Do you want to start by talking about Southend first?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we reduced the margin that they had imposed upon us when we went down to their place, 100 points to nil, and that was certainly one of our targets earlier on the week was to bring that margin down, and the other target was to score some points with an aim to score four tries. So we achieved one of the goals of bringing their score down, scored some points ourselves, but not quite the four that we were looking for. And so, in some respects, a positive result. But the players themselves, and I think we all felt just a little bit as if there was something else out there. We've talked about it during the week, and I think we just need a little bit more belief now when we're playing against these top sides that actually we are a lot better than we were just 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we can give them even a better run for their money than we gave Southend. And we gave 2 or 3 silly tries away at the end of the game. And we gave a cheap try away at the beginning of the game and at the beginning of the second half. So if you start looking at that side of it now, we're very much in the hunt. So we'll start taking some of these bigger sides with in a slightly different, more attitude, and see whether we can create a surprise. Really.
Okay, so Sunday, sort of the first team squad played in the Berkshire Cup.
Yeah, well, Sunday was really, the whole weekend in some respects was all about getting 3 games fulfilled, particularly the Sunday from the first team point of view. Obviously we had 4 guys who would normally be involved from a first team point of view playing for the Colts, and it was important that we rested them on Saturday and then allowed them to play for the Colts on the Sunday, which then stretched our own squad for the Sunday game to a point where yours truly was even a named replacement, but thankfully for all concerned didn't take off the tracksuit. It was all about getting a game out there and fulfilling a Berkshire Cup fixture, which we hadn't done for many, many years. Reading had also played the day before, and so they hadn't really brought their first team down. And so I think they felt a little bit aggrieved that we'd put out so many first team guys, but we didn't contravene the regulations, which was only 5 that had played 50% or more, and we certainly didn't break that regulation. But what we had is what we had. I mean, we were not in a position where we have a second or a third team to choose from. So, and they made it pretty difficult for us in the first 20 minutes. They had everything to gain and nothing to lose, and they made really our guys look fairly ordinary. And I was getting a bit frustrated that we really probably didn't want to be there, and I'm sure some of them didn't. But once we got into the game and started to run a little bit hard and straight, and then we started to score tries. And young lad Miles came into the squad for the first time and scored 5 tries, and that was a real bonus to us because it gave us the opportunity to see what Miles had to offer. Clearly he's got pace. He likes to find the try line, and hopefully we'll be using him in the future.
Okay, so that was a great result, and also we need to congratulate the Colts.
Yeah. Well, I was very lucky a few seasons ago to take a group of players in the Colts through to the National Colts Plate Final, which is the part of the competition you get if you lose one of your earlier round games. And that year they didn't actually lose; they drew, but it was enough to get them into the plate. But it was a great feeling that year going up to Northampton, and everybody had a great time. And so since then, I've been keen that the Colts continue to make that one of their key goals for the season. And with this group of players, we've certainly got a very talented group who have managed to progress through the main part of the competition now. So they're into the quarterfinals, and there'll be some tough fixtures out there. And the next one will be a tough one against Western Hornets, who are sort of down Weston-super-Mare way, and they've got them at home. But it'll be a tough game, and I'll have to sort of think long and hard about my team selection the Saturday before that game. But it'd be great if those guys can keep going. I've been involved with them for a few years and seen them playing and coached them a couple of years ago. And there's some real talent there. And if we can just ride our luck, which you always need in cup competitions, then let's hope we can all end up at Northampton in May.
Okay, and well done to the women's team, who I believe got promoted on Sunday as well.
It was a busy day here on Sunday. We had women all over the place. We had matches on the top pitches. The the ladies playing their final league game and winning, so that's good for them. And they all had fancy dressing after the game. It's good to see they're enjoying themselves. And obviously England South West and South East down on the main pitch on what was not a particularly nice day. Certainly everybody was the same colour at the end of the afternoon. So yeah, busy day for the club, which is good, which is what we're all about really.
Okay, so this Saturday brings Clifton down to see us.
Indeed.
How are we shaping up for that?
Well, yes, a little bit different to last week in that last week we went into the game with not many options in the backs. Young Ollie ended up playing on the wing again, which he's getting used to. But we didn't have anybody on the bench to cover any injuries, so that's made life a little bit difficult. Whereas this week, Oscar's been away for a couple of weeks, so Oscar comes back into the fold. Obviously, Miles' performance at the weekend brings him into the squad. James Monger wasn't available to us last weekend, and hopefully he's fit and well, so we can bring him in. And then there is another player that will come into reckoning, and that is Dominic Payne, who has been playing for the Stags all season. But we've obviously kept our eye on him, and we've asked him to help us out on a couple of Thursdays when Andy Gale hasn't been able to get down, and we've needed a scrum half to do the team run, and Dominic has filled in that position and really been impressive. And so we were keen that maybe he tried stepping up to the next level, and he's decided to do that now, so he'll be available to us. So we've got not only selection issues, we've got replacements on the bench that can fill in if people get injured. So we're looking good for Clifton, and it's obviously one of those games now that we need to step up and try and get a result like we did against Canterbury a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, thanks Andy, and let's hope we get some points on Saturday.
All right.